Welcome back to Game Room Crafts. I'm Kelly. This is my game room. Let's play. Happy New Year, everybody. Today is January 1st, 2026, and we are doing a lucky cat, in Japanese known as a maneki neko. You've probably seen these in restaurants and shops around the world, really, with the little cat's waving his hand. He's going like this. Well, he's not really waving hello at you. He's telling you to come on in. For us, it's come on in. For the cat, it's come on in. Come this way. Come on in. Different color cats have different meanings. The white, well, actually, we're going to pop up a little visual so you can see. There's different colors. There's white, there's blue, there's pink, there's, of course, gold, there's black, there's green. Different cats, different meanings. Today, for the new year, I gave the kid her choice. I'm like, okay, so this is general good luck. This one's for health. This one's for prosperity and wealth. She said, and I quote, give me the money. So we're doing a gold cat today. I am using the Renfio Golden Metallic Powder, and I'm going to brush it in. This cat is deep, and of course there's the hand and two ears. So I'm going to go in there first with my smaller brush and make sure I get those parts really well covered before moving on with my bigger brush. And I'm really rubbing that in really good, burnishing it in. Now, I have heard, and I'm sure it's true, that it works better if you use your finger, like a gloved hand, and you won't get brush streaks doing that. I'm sure that would work. I've never tried it. And you know what? I just poured an awful lot of gold in there. I didn't mean to pour that. You can see it flying around. Oh, there I go, spilling it again. See, I'm not kidding. When I say I'm clumsy, I am clumsy. Okay. I'm going to try and get this back where it belongs. This is why I work on parchment. And by the way, you can do the same thing with glitter. As long as it's dry and there's nothing else on there, absolutely just feel free to put it back in the bottle it came from. I'm going to call that good. That's as close to name as I'm going to get that. So that's straight up isopropyl alcohol. And so, yeah, I thought this was appropriate for the new year. Prosperity, good luck. What I'm going to do now is mix up my resin. I'm going to try 4 ounces because although she's about this height, she's narrow. She's skinny. So I'll mix up 4 ounces and see where it gets us. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, so I have here 7 ounces of Von Crafter 1-to-1 resin. Why do I have 7 ounces? Because I poured too much in the cup. I was going for 6. Actually, I thought 4. But then I was like, even though it's narrow on the bottom, it does widen out. I mean, narrow on the top where her head is. It does widen out where her bottom is. So I wanted to make sure I had enough. I don't want to have to match colors. So I am going to put some gold in here so that if I missed anything while burnishing my statuette, it will still be covered. Now I do have some molds on standby because I'm hoping I'm going to have extra. And what I chose today were my turtles because if you've been following us, you know that turtles are a near dear part of our culture and they are good luck, wisdom, prosperity. Everybody loves turtles. So I'm going to add the same gold that I used to burnish. I have other golds and I thought about it, but no, I'm going to use the same gold and I'm just going to put a scoop in. That, I love that spoon. It fits in my jars perfectly. Okay, I'm going to drip my resin over the top of it so that it doesn't poof when I turn my mixer on. All right, kid, music time. And I'm going to put that down the center, touch that bottom. Okay, then my powder gets cleaned up. This gets put in the debubbler and we will be right back. Okay, so that has been on a trip through the debubbler. Well, half a trip through the debubbler because the debubbler suddenly stopped working. I had to release the pressure because it got all the way to the top. Release the pressure. Then I went to turn it on the second time and I could just tell it was not suctioning, and yeah, it won't make that connection. So I don't know, and I haven't even had it a year, so that's disappointing. My resin is ready. It has been as debubbled as it's going to get. Give it a little spritz for those surface bubbles, and I'm going to pour it slowly down her front. And remember, there's a hand and 2 ears down by her head. So I'm going to attempt to give it a good squeeze. This mold is hard. It was made in a solo cup. So if you're ever making molds of your own, yes, the solo cup will hold your stuff. However, it's more difficult to, get down in there and give it a good squish. But we do what we can. And then slow mama. Now there's going to be a lot of painting when we're done. But I say painting, I'm going to be using my paint pens. So there's going to be quite a bit of that because she's holding her tablet. She's wearing a scarf with a bib and a bell. Although the bell doesn't need to be painted because the bell is gold and she's gold. I'm going to leave her alone. I did not come all the way up because this is a hand cut mold. If I come all the way up, there's going to be a ton of unnecessary trim. So I did not come all the way up. Turtle, this is the bigger of the 2 turtles. And I did go in with the golden and I burnished the entire thing. Shell, tail, head, all of it. That was overpoured. Definitely overpoured. Question is, do I want to? Yeah, I'm going to take some of it out because she's definitely overpoured. And I don't want to have to deal with all that trimming. Okay. Leave her alone. Come on this side. Let's do the baby. And again, she has been burnished with the Renfield Golden Metallic. That's good. What do I have left? Let's see. That way, I really should have checked before I poured my turtles. But let's give it a good look. See where we're at. Because I know what my turtles take. I actually wrote them down somewhere safe. Okay, so we are looking at, I've got 2.5 ounces left. I do have an elephant mold ready to go in gold. But even that's not 2.5. And I'm wondering if I should choose a different mold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my elephant, but this is my elephant ring holder. And I've been putting off doing it because I'm me. I keep going, I'm going to do elephant ring holder. And then I don't do it. So this time I'm doing it. I'm getting down into that trunk, getting down into her ears, and I'm burnishing that gold all up inside her body. And yes, I put too much gold in here again. I have this habit. See all that? Could have colored 3 more elephants like that. Let me get there. Pull that up, bring my pot over. And I'm good. That away before I spill it again. I'm going to go down into the ears, down into her trunk. Make sure I have that perspective thing. Now look, I see a white spot. That tells me that there is dried resin there. Yep, and it needed to come off or my gold wasn't going to stick. And that's exactly what happened. I scraped it off and now the gold is sticking. So yay, yet another spot right there. So what it is the mold was not cleaned off well the last time we used it, which was a while ago. I do have a habit. I stack up my molds with the idea of I will clean them all at the same time together later, and later never comes. So she is as golden as I'm going to get her. And I'm not super concerned over it because the resin I'm pouring in is gold. Now, I know that I don't have enough in there, but we're going with it. And I'm going to go down into the trunk and then tilt into the ear. And the other ear, I'm going to come up until they are full and then I'm going to stop. And I am going to need probably more resin. But then again, maybe not because this is an opaque pour. If I run out of resin, and it's just a little bit, I can make up that deficit using fiberglass. And I have some beautiful fiberglass that was sent to me by a viewer. Leanne, thank you very much. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We will get all of this in, and hopefully it's not very much that I have to make up because this is an opaque color. Fiberglass should be okay to deal with it. Either the fiberglass, I could use clear cabochon. I kind of like the idea of putting the fiberglass in here. Now scrape. Uh-oh, somebody is unhappy. I tell you now, he was already unhappy because the kid left without him. But she left without him because it looks like it's going to rain. And boy is special. 1 drop of water goes on his head. He doesn't mind baths. But if you take him and it rains, just the first drop of water that hits him, he literally turns around and heads for home. He does not like rain. And it looks like it's going to rain here. So although she wanted to walk, she didn't want to be curtailed by his silliness. Which is exactly what it is. It's silly. He doesn't mind water in other instances, but if it's rain, we should get him a rain hat. He also doesn't like his feet to go into puddles. He's precious. Okay. So, clean. Here is a mirrored fiberglass that was sent to us. And it's beautiful. I need to get a scoop. I have a scoop. I do. I'll just use a spoon today. And I'm just going to drop it right down the middle. Now doing this, it will raise your resin level, but you also have to, you're gonna watch for bubbles because it raises your, yeah, but it, look, bubble. Don't fall down, please. I know, I'll lean you against the cat. See the bubbles coming up? And I'm good. I don't have to do any more than that. I can leave that alone. That wasn't very much when you think about it. But it saved me the aggravation, time, and effort of having to make up more resin. So I'm gonna let that bring up its bubbles. I'm gonna clean my brush. And see, it's still moving and it's still settling. I'm seeing bubbles coming up. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let it do its thing. And in the meantime, cat's okay, turtle's okay. There's a bubble right there by the foot. It's bugging me. So I have these micro brushes on the fuzzy part. When it comes out, this is what I use it for, to pop bubbles and to edge things. Now, it's still soft, not like rubbing it with a toothpick or a cocktail stick. So we will come back when it's ready to demold these things. Let them sit for about an hour, and then I will turn my heat mat on, or I will move them over to my curing box. And we will see you back real soon. These are done. They have been in the curing box, sat for about 45 minutes out on the table, and then I moved them into the curing box for 2 hours. Now, lots of cleanup, which, I mean, the resin part is easy enough to clean up. You just use tape. The same thing with the color, but honestly, it's easier to just wipe it down with alcohol or a baby wipe. Let's try the baby wipe. Yep, there we go. Nice and pretty. There are some little resin pieces here and there, and I got powder everywhere, but I spilled a lot several times. This has been like the messiest project for me as far as spilling goes. Well, I didn't spill any resin, but I did spill my mica powder several times. Oh, I take it back. I guess I did spill some resin. It definitely overflowed onto my piece. Wipe the gold down. All of that will get peeled off. Look, it's like resin paper. And put into my extras cup. You hear him? Treat, treat, treat. Hitting his treat button.
And I'm ignoring him.
And she's ignoring him. What else is new? I think he's used to you ignoring him by now. Naughty little pup. Now, don't feel sorry for him. He just finished having dinner. Why would he want more treats? Why would he want more? I don't know. Okay. That is definitely just powder. So we'll just wipe that up. And it looks like I'm going to have some trimming, but not a lot. It did shrink there. This definitely shrunk. These two shrunk also. It happens. Okay, so turtle first. Baby turtle. Cute. Cute little baby turtle. That will probably be made into a either a keychain or a magnet. Not sure. She just asked him if he was for real. Like she expected an actual answer.
He hit walkies. I came over all gentle. Are you for real? Do you want to go walkies? I present him both buttons.
Treat. Yep. Yep. He knows the tricks. He knows how to get your attention.
I'm so not disappointed.
You knew it was coming. There's the mama turtle, and she's adorable. So the two of them are adorable together. Definitely keychain. I think both of them could be keychains. Although I did have a tendency before, I would make the larger one into a keychain and the smaller one into a magnet, a refrigerator magnet, because the larger one is heavier. So when you put the magnets on, unless you have a really good strong magnet, which I currently don't, the ones that I have right now are not very strong. They will just slide down your refrigerator. So these will probably end up being keychains, bag pulls. I need to look at that because it seems to me that there it is right there. There is a divot in the mold. And when you pull it out, then there's a lump in the shell. But, you know, hey, that's what happens when you're not using a machined mold. You hear that? Treat, treat. No. Then we go for my elephant. That definitely shrank, and I knew it was going to, even though, you know, we used the glass and the resin level rose, it was still going to shrink anyway, and especially because I personally think it shrinks more when you use heat. That's just me. Okay, over the ear. Thank you, thank you. And then up over the trunk. Isn't she cute? She's adorable. Now, if you look really closely, you actually can see the outline of the glass in her head. But honestly, I'm not mad about it. It kind of gives it a little bit of depth. So if I had my rings on, which I took it off earlier, bloop, fits perfectly right on top of the trunk. Okay, now our main event, our lucky cat. So for our lucky cat, she's not easy to demold. Because of the type of mold, because I chose that mold housing, the solo cup mold housing, it's hard to get out. And when I did this using mix to mold, oh good lord, it took quite a while to get her to come out. But you know, you got to be careful that it's not gonna break. It's like plaster, right? This is resin, and I can already see it pulled away better than the mix to mold did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a little bit of alcohol down the sides. Thing about the characters are it's very easy to write the wrong thing. And I have to make sure that I wrote that the correct way. Kid, can you bring me the original Maneki Neko? I can't remember how the bottom of the characters go.
You don't know how you know you did a good job?
You can't tell which is which.
I picked up the one in front and I went, wait. And then I checked and it was actually the other one.
Thank you. Okay, so I need to close that gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, double lines. The rest of it's okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to offend anybody.
Too late, you did the stroke order, bro.
This is, don't say that. This is supposed to be closed. Back, and before I get back to painting, because I'm actually waiting for my eyes to dry on Miss Kitty, there I have brought out my little teeny tiny drill bits, and they all fell out. So don't get crazy. My tools are cheapos that I pick up from Harbor Freight, and it comes, the set comes with teeny tiny drill bits in different sizes. Now I have broken the ones that are missing. I broke them. So you gotta be careful when you're doing it. Actually, before I put her eye hook in, because she's getting a piercing, professional piercer of turtles. No, I'm not. Anyway, before that, I'm going to just give her a little bit of a grind. She's obviously shrunk. I actually will do it to the baby also, because the baby's getting a magnet. Normally, I would do this outside. I'm doing it on camera for you. So no sharpness. Then we switch out our bits. And the only one getting drilled is Mama, because baby is turning into a magnet. And Kid said she wanted it on this side. So I put where I want it. I find my spot. And then that's good. Okay, so they're done. I'll put that away. Put my little drill bit away before it disappears. And I give them all a spray down with alcohol. Now, please, please, when you're doing this, wear your PPEs. As I said, I only did this on camera with you so that you could see what I was doing. Now, I cannot put alcohol on her front because of the pen, which is just acrylic ink. You just wipe it down with a dry towel. Even a baby wipe would take off that ink. I believe if I was using an oil marker, it'd be okay. And the elephant. And she's ready to go. All I have to do is make her landmass, which I will do at a different time, maybe off camera, and glue her down. And she's going to be for my rings. Plop my rings on there. Okay, so I might as well, since you have to wait for the glue to set, I'm going to flip my baby. And let me see. Cover it up. And since I gave it that rough spot to stick to, I should not have a problem. I'm going to put that on, push it down well, and just let her sit, hang out. She's done. Okay, back to Kitty. Kitty has a red, I'm not done with her eyes, but I have to let it dry. She's wearing a scarf. You can see it tying the back. So red is her scarf. And what I'll do is, as I'm coloring, I'll have the kid fast forward. You can see what I'm doing, but you don't have to see her the entire time and get bored. she has little flowers. And all it is 4 little dots. So you come in and you go. I suppose I could have done this with the fine tip pen and made it smaller. There's that one part that I just colored. You don't want to touch that part. I'm going to skip that where it's wet and come over on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she's done. She is done. You leave her alone and let her dry. So I'm going to let her sit over here with her elephant friend and dry up. Finish off the turtle. To finish off our turtle, we're going to, so we need that. I need some of these and these. And then I need my tools. And these are the tools I use when I'm doing keychains, bag pulls, whatever. I use forceps, which I stole from my hubby's tackle box, but you can get them on Amazon. I have seen them. If I can find them, I'll look them below. They actually sell a set of 2. One is curved at the end and one is straight like this. And then just regular pliers. Now those I use for my jump rings. But first, before we do that, we need to put our eye hook in that hole we made. So this is what the forceps for. Well, it's not the only thing the forceps is for, but that's what I use it for. I take the forceps and I clip the eye hook like this. It makes it easier. I don't have to pinch it while I'm working. It just is. Now, before I put it in, I put in a little drop of B7000. I put it on Mr. Turtle in the hole, right up against the hole, and I just put a little drop. I put it there on the hole, right? Oh, on the hole. Why? It's not going to do anything. Well, yeah, it will. Let me close this up before it drives me insane. The only thing about the B7000 I don't like, the strings. Okay, so that is straight and it goes right on top of that glue and you spin it. And it grabs because the hole that I drilled was just the right size. And then the B7000 will hold that in place. And then the forceps come off. That's it. It's done. Okay, then forceps again. We're going to grab just one, please. Jump rings. And again, I grab it with my forceps. This is the keychain I want to use for it. So, jump ring, eye hook, chain, and then boom, back together. Done. She's now a keychain, but I wanted her to be a bag pull, so I got these. So these are supposed to be gold tone, but some of them look silver to me. I don't know. Maybe it's a mix. I don't know. I'll have to sort through them, I suppose. Okay, so actually, it's a keychain. So I can just simply thread the lobster claw directly onto a keychain hook. Just like that. Simple. And if you want, you could put a tassel on it and hang it from the chain. My tassels are not so hot. So that little mistake I made. Boom, she's covered. Leave her alone, let her dry off. She is ready to go. Hang on somebody's bag, use it as a keychain. That is totally up to you, but she is a lucky, lucky turtle. So lucky turtle, lucky cat, elephants are good luck too. That's a great start to the new year, I think. Thank you for joining us here in the game room. I had fun. I hope you did too. And I did try something new. Join us again next week. I'm not sure what we're doing, but whatever it is, we will endeavor to make it fun. In the meantime, don't forget to play. See you soon. Bye.